Okay.
All right, we'll continue now.
We'll continue now in the paragraph.
Paragraph number 3.
Paragraph 3. HaTshuva Elyona, the higher tshuva. So, is he referring here now to both a third state, or is he to higher than Pitomi and Hadragatit, the flash or one level at a time, or is he referring within those the highest type of tshuva, a deeper level of both of them? HaTshuva Elyona ba mahavraka. He says havraka again, but he says it a little differently. Not previously we said havraka, that I see everything is, I see that evil is bad, and
it's the havrakah that I need change because I'm recognizing the bad. That's the original one.
Right. He says, I see the evil and the cure of sin, and I want to be somebody else. But here he's not seeing the evil of a sin, but rather he's seeing tova klali. He sees he has a lightning, a clarity of God's goodness, that everything is good. Shalatov Heloki, of God's goodness, Hashora Ba'olamo Kulam, which is overcasting all the worlds. Or Chayolmin, the light of life. Nishmat, that God is really the neshama underneath everything of Kol HaAtzilut. Nishamat Kol HaAtzilut mitztayeret lefanenu. The neshama of the Atzilut, of the highest levels of godliness, has a drawing in front of us, Behoda v'Kdush, in its beauty and in its holiness. Kama Shalev Yechol Lispog, as much as the heart could possibly take. He sees not that I'm bad, not that this is evil, but wow, God is everywhere. He's in everything and everywhere. God's light. He sees the light of tshuva differently right now, which we could say in our first paragraph we learned this. What's called tshuva sichlit, where he's seeing godliness, everything. V'lo be'emet hakohu tov v'yashar kokach. Everything is good, even the negative things. I see that there was a positive light within them, or a nitzotz, or a way that they could become good. Vayosh v'tov shabanu. And the goodness and the straightness of the taluhu ba matamatenu el takol. I want to be good not because I see bad, because that's actually being in my place. That would be matim. It would fit in with everything. If I do bad, I'd be separated from all the good, separated from God. Parur mishuneh. I'd be a
Ream or crumb, yeah.
Or to be separated differently.
Yeah, like a piece of dust on the floor, like a crumb on the floor.
I wouldn't be fitting in. Mufrad, I'd be separated. Kavak dak shekelo neshav. I'd be someone trying to separate from the one goodness. I'd be like a nothing. Umitoha karzu, and from this recognition, sheyakara elokit bemet. That is the true understanding of God. Ba tshuva, this tshuva come b'chaye prat, in the life of an individual, b'chaye klal, and also in the klal. This is a type of tshuva we're going to get to in later chapters, of not just of the individual, but of the klal, whether it's klal Yisrael or the whole world, of recognizing that everything is tapped into godliness, everything is God's light, and I want to be part of that. So this is another type of havrakah, different than the first type of havrakah, and he lists it after the first two. So either it's a third stage,
right,
or it's something that you get by doing hadragati, or a higher type of pitomi that happens.
Right, he doesn't say it's contingent, like how we said before that the sichlit comes after the TV and gufani, and
Right.
TV and emuni. So here he doesn't say that there's a contingency on this Tshuva Elyona.
In the first line we said there's two parts, two ways. There's pitomi and hadragatit, and then we have a third paragraph that seems to be like a layer on top of these. Maybe you have to go through the first two. If we did the 1-2 move like we tried to explain, then you could reach this level of seeing, God's beauty in everything, which is the ultimate type of havrakah. And you just gotta sometimes the asimon just drops, and somebody could see it. He doesn't see, I got to get rid of this is bad, this is good. He just sees everything as godliness and good, and that havrakah of understanding of this hakarat tov, of recognizing, God's goodness and everything going on, that is not a tshuva of sumei ra, I would say, but it's a tshuva of aseh tov, of seeing, where I want to be. Not what I want to get rid of, but where I want to be.
Right. Like what true good is. It's a clarity on, it's where godliness and good connect. Because And I think that's what he's saying, Shehi Akara Elohit Be'emet, that, and it's a havraka shel hatov haklali. It's somebody who, it's built on this very, very strong emunah that God wants there to be good in the world. That's like the first, like, you need to believe that, and you need to believe that with all of your heart. And then when you interact with reality, so you look at reality and you think, why did God create this? Why did God create the horse? Why did God create the mosquito? Why did God create this material? And you have this clarity that it's to do good. Like that's why it's here. It's to do good. And when you live life like that, so all of a sudden you can see the good. And when you see the good is always in interaction with your world. I think what I'm trying to explain is what I believe the hatamotenu el hakol means. What does it mean that it's like fitting?
Fits everything.
It fits everything, because if nothing is disconnected, everything is here for a reason. Everything is here to do good, and I'm supposed to be able to understand that and connect to that. And then if I live life in that perspective, so I like bring the good out, and then
everything.
And then I experience it, and that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at good right now, and I'm looking at God's creation, and that's where I'm saying the good and God and Hashem are like
they're
connecting
fitting.
in this moment.
Everything's connected to it.
Yeah, and then I have to be good, and how I live. It's like, how could I not? If I see, right, there's a very strong overlap between how I see the world and how I see myself. So if I see the world like this,
then you'll see yourself.
Then that's what I think. That's where it ties into Tshuva and Tshuva Elyona, and
it could work the other way too. If you see yourself that way, then you see the world that way as well.
100%.
You know, I was just thinking that, like, in comparing it to marriage, that, you know, people see the marriage, they want to fix their marriage, so they see, like, this is not good the way my marriage is. I need to change. You know, I got to change it. You know, or little by little, start by saying nice words, or like, marriage has to be different. This is not good like this. Or he sees the third type. Could be after the first two. It's like, wow, look what marriage could become. Not going back to not going back to like the negative things that I want to change, but like, wow, marriage could be beautiful in all these different ways. He has this thing that like this could be the greatest part of life. Like he's really just saying the positive things. I just wanted to give you a quote over here from the beginning of the Likud of Kanfei Ruach. I brought it out the other week, but he says here, Hitbonen bepilei hayitzira. If you just look in the playim, the wonders of creation, b'chaya elokut shelahem, in the godliness inside everything, not b'tur eze tochni keha, not just some type of program, shemerchakim metzigim negen that they're showing you from afar. Kim dat hamitziut shata chai ba. If you look at the mitziut you're living in, the existence, know yourself. I'm just going to read it in English. Know yourself and your world. Understand the thoughts, your thoughts, and every person who's a thinker. Find mitzat makor chayim shebikirbecha b'shmalacha, the source of life within you and above you, everything around you, right? Et pareha derot hachayim shata shrui b'tacham. You're living within godliness everywhere you are, right? If someone could see this type of good, and you can lift it up into seeing that everything around us is God. This is the highest form of tshuva. This is the paragraph where ends Rav Kook's famous line, which is Alei Lamala Alei. Ki kol choz lecha. This is the Ishcha Kanfei Ruach. If you could see this godliness, I mean, this is he calls it here too a havraka, like a lightning bolt as well.
Yeah.
Meaning that this is not something you get hadragati.
Right. Right. I wonder about that, because I think that even if you manage, this is something that you can apply. So it is a havraka in that it's clarity, and it's like a moment where you're having a strong thought. But I do think that there's an element of this idea that we're speaking about that is like
hadragati. You can work
perspective.
On it.
Yeah, but it's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have this great godly perspective of God's good in the world, and then you can go through a hard time and be a little weaker, take a step back and be a little cynical and maybe see something negative by accident, but then you could go back to it. You could be like, no, but then that would be a different tshuva. I'd be like, no, I shouldn't be looking in this way.
And also the way you were explaining it before, which is that it could be hadragati, like seeing God in this, trying to find God in everything, and slowly getting there. I guess he's just saying that it's a switch to flip that you get. of deciding to look at things in a positive, outlook versus just, distancing myself, slowly or fast from what's negative to looking the positive side of things.
Definitely.